wineskin. Now, it's very difficult to realize that, you can have new wineskins for the new wine that God is doing in the world. So I think it's important to say that. Also, translation is very important. I think it is good that here in the Philippines, the Bible has been translated not just in Tagalog, which is the main language. I have one more question because we have
Yes.
an online show. Yeah.
And that
Uh,
that oh, so we put the two in one, our rector and deputy rector. So please hold on for their question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe this is not really a question as
just one more question, and then I have to go.
a comment on the earlier issue that was raised on deep structures and surface structures. And I think that one of the examples to give is actually what happened in Rwanda. The genocide in Rwanda is now a blot on the Christian conscience in Africa, judging by the fact that this is a place where the East African revival began and spread through the whole of East Africa. But you are wondering what the church did or how the church responded. How come that a country where they speak only one language, essentially, Kinyarwanda, so you might say it's one people, and yet when the Holocaust occurred, because doing that
First of all, I think it's important that we are aware of our Christian heritage as as given to us from the West, but also aware of our deep structures. Unfortunately, most of us still have to study the deep structures of our own cultures. And this is a problem. You have uh, inputs from the Christian West, which we appropriated, but we have not really understood even our deep structures and how they should connect together. So this is that's why I say this is the main agenda. Also in relation to Rwanda, I think we need to understand that before the coming of the imperialists from the West, you had 2,000 ethnicities in Africa, and these 2,000 ethnicities were put together by six imperial countries and controlled from Europe. Now, when they left, when the imperial powers left, what you have is actually a redrawing of boundaries that cross ethnicities. And that's why you have, the Hutus and the Tutsis in one nation state. Now, the nation state is actually an imposition from the West. The truth is, we have yet to grow as nations. And what we have are simplicities. And if you put them together in one nation state, that is artificial. In other words, it did not grow organically, but it was redrawn by all these imperial powers. So you have in one nation state the Hutus and the Tutsis. And so you have this tribal, war for supremacy and things like this. I mean, the West took 500 years to develop from, all these medieval fiefdoms, no? Even in England, the War of the Roses and etc. The House of York and the House of Lancaster. You have all these tribal also conflicts, no? But they had 500 years to grow into a nation state, in the 19th century. So I think it's important to understand that those decolonized countries in Africa, even Philippines, uh, we are only being given 50 years, no? What took the West 500 years? 50 years to develop into a real nation state. And and I think it's important for us to recognize that we don't have to follow what the West has done with their own history. I think it's important for us to understand what happened during the Age of Empire, and then now that we are decolonized, what is happening in such a way that we can carve our own national identities. And I think this national identity is still in progress. Philippines, for instance, I mean, I don't think I think we're just a collection of barangays, communities, not really a nation state, because that is really a concept that we borrowed from the West. So I'm very sorry I have to go now
Yes, yes,
because
yes.
yeah, because we have this show that's coming. So
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, and
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank
for
you.
being patient with with that presentation.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Magai. Thank you. Right. So maybe a clap. Once again,
for the
apologies
technical
for.
challenges, but at least with the clubs, virtual clubs and in-person clubs, we can appreciate some input in all that has gone on. Thank you for your time. We will take a break now for some 10 minutes and resume just a little after 11 to have another session, what we call Under the Tree Reflections. We've had the first one with Dr. Magai, and next we'll have Dr. Kehende Olabintam, all the way from Canada, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll have Mrs. Claire Waigi to chair the session. So we'll resume at 11 a.m. GMT. Thank you for your time. And we will also play during the lunch break, we will replay Dr. Magai's presentation. So if you want to catch up on that, from 1:30 GMT Gowelin, we will replay to about 2:30. So see you later in a while. Thank you very much.